I'm Aaron Hendel. Coming up, the details on the city's brand new $1.4 billion plan to repair thousands of miles of sidewalk.
And crowds marched through West Hollywood to commemorate World AIDS Day. We'll see how they're remembering those who lost the fight against the disease.
And USC is making its case for one of the most prolific Trojan football players to be in the Heisman Trophy running.
Annenberg TV News is next. And welcome to Annenberg TV News. The LA City Council approved a massive plan to repair sidewalks. Good evening, I'm Ryan Thompson.
And I'm Sonica Bargo. The 30-year plan will cost $1.4 billion.
Annenberg Media's Aaron Hendel is live near USC to show how bad some of the sidewalks are across the city. Aaron?
Thanks so much, Ryan. The plan calls for the renovation of 11,000 miles of sidewalk throughout the city over the next 30 years. And if you take a look at this sidewalk, or should I say hill beneath me, you can see why. This sidewalk is far too common throughout the city, so I went to City Hall to find out the details of the plan today. The City of Angels has plenty of wonders, but its sidewalks aren't one of them. The Los Angeles City Council agrees.
Our sidewalks in the city of Los Angeles are in embarrassing condition. They're deplorable.
Sidewalks all throughout the city, including ones near USC, might as well be freestyle skateboard courses. Now, I'm about 6 even on a good day, but here on the sidewalks at St. James Park, I go from a decently tall reporter to the biggest one since Charles Barkley. So today, City Council unanimously approved an historic $1.4 billion initiative called Safe Sidewalks LA.
This is a very important day that I think people will be looking back at in years to come.
Safe Sidewalks LA creates 2 programs. The Access Request program for people with disabilities who live near sidewalks in need of repair, while the rebate program is for property owners who can initially pay for their sidewalks to be fixed and become eligible for a rebate of up to $2,000. Councilmember Paul Krikorian says Safe Sidewalks LA creates other benefits as well.
This program is going to put people to work right now. This is going to be one of the programs that we're going to be utilizing to put the hard-to-hire people of Los Angeles back to work.
Property owners can start applying for rebates as soon as tomorrow. City Council couldn't yet set a definitive time frame as to when those first rebate requests could be paid out. However, they clearly want to move along with this process as quickly as they can. Live from 32nd, I'm Aaron Hendel.
Thanks, Aaron. Now today, USC's undergraduate student government senators passed a resolution calling on the administration to support undocumented students and designate USC as a sanctuary campus.
The major point is to make USC a sanctuary campus for undocumented students and faculty and staff. And to basically ensure that students all feel that they belong on this campus and feel safe on this campus.
The resolution urges the administration to protect undocumented students by not sharing immigration status information with government officials. Only one USG senator voted against the resolution. Senator Lena Dunport told Annenberg Media, quote, "The resolution did not address the possible consequences of becoming a sanctuary campus, such as the loss of federal funding. Losing federal funds would negatively impact USC, and there was no research presented in the resolution as to how the university would be able to compensate for the possible loss of federal funds," end quote. The students we spoke to are in favor of the sanctuary resolution.
The campus's job and obligation to make it a safe space for everybody.
Universities have diversity of opinion, so there's probably going to be lots of people who have strong opinions, especially something controversial like immigration. I'm an international student myself, so I sympathize.
Someone from the USC administration responded to Annenberg Media's request for a comment on the resolution, but just minutes ago, Provost Michael Quick sent an email to the USC community about DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, saying the university is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Quick also said he has commissioned a task force of faculty, staff, and students to respond to any changes in immigration policy. Also today, President-elect Donald Trump vowed to step down from his business dealings on Twitter.
That's right. Our political anchor, Razan Naklawi, has been following the tweets closely and has more for us tonight. Razan?
Thanks, Ryan. So Donald Trump announced today that he will be leaving his businesses to focus on the matters of the presidency. Trump gave few details other than he wanted to avoid the appearance of a, quote, conflict of interest. Trump tweeted the news early Wednesday and announced a press conference with his children that will take place on December 15th. He expressed his desire to focus on running the country in order to make America great again. He also tweeted that it was visually important to have no conflict of interest with his businesses, saying that legal documents had been crafted to take him completely out of business operations. Also today, Trump appointed billionaire investor Wilbur Ross to Commerce Secretary. During the campaign, Ross was Trump's chief economic advisor on trade policy. Ross is known as a vulture investor who helps turn around failing businesses. In the early 90s, he helped resurrect Trump's bankrupt casino chain, and the Treasury Secretary appointee and billionaire financier Steven Mnuchin told media he looks forward to working with the two of them.
Both myself, Wilbur Ross, who's in commerce, working with the president, making sure we do the right thing for the American workers.
Ross's appointment is adding to the string of billionaire financiers tapped to work in the Trump cabinet. For more of our political coverage, go to uscannenbergmedia.com.
A South Carolina district attorney announced today that the police officer who shot Keith Lamont Scott back in September will not face charges. The Charlotte DA and 15 other prosecutors determined that the officer, Brentley Vinson's actions were justified.
After a thorough review and given the totality of the circumstances and credible evidence in this case, it is my opinion that Officer Vinson acted lawfully when he shot Mr. Scott. The reality is that Mr. Scott could have raised his gun and killed Officer Vinson or another officer before any of them could have reacted to the threat.
After the announcement that Officer Vinson will not face charges, the Scott family attorney addressed the family's concerns about the decision.
We still have real questions about the decisions that were made that day in terms of how they confronted Keith, how they reacted to the information that he had a brain injury, and whether they used appropriate de-escalation techniques to end this situation in a way that didn't result in the loss of Keith Scott's life.
The Scott's attorney said the family is very disappointed and is still deciding whether to file a lawsuit.
The FBI believes terrorist group ISIL may have inspired the man who carried out a car and knife attack on Ohio State's campus on Monday.
All we know at this point is that we believe he may have been inspired by Anwar al-Awlaki and or ISIS or ISIL. Our investigation will determine that. It's too soon to draw any type of conclusions.
Arson is being investigated by agents to see whether he acted alone when planning his ambush. Authorities have interviewed dozens of his family members and associates, but are still investigating his whereabouts Monday morning and whether the knife he bought that morning was used in the attack.
The remains of more than 1,400 people were buried today at LA County Cemetery. The mass burial celebrates the lives of unclaimed individuals who died in LA County. About 100 people attended the service. The annual burial honors those who died in the past 3 years. Multiple faiths were represented and prayers were said in different languages, including Spanish and Korean.
And I've always been honored by the fact that the county holds sacred in this crematorium for 3 years these remains. You know, we're not a part of a society that just throws them away.
When they move on, even if they were unknown, had no family, I think there's a basic need we all have to make note of that and pay some form of respect to those people.
This was the 120th year of the mass burial ceremony.
And people are marching in West Hollywood tonight to pay their respects to those who have lost their lives to AIDS.
Downtown may soon see the return of one of LA's most iconic forms of transportation.
And why not a dory is what USC is asking when it comes to one of college sports' most prestigious awards.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Got a quarter?
Tomorrow is World AIDS Day. Annenberg Media's Gabrielle Vidal is live tonight in Hollywood, where activists are taking part in a night of remembering the celebration. All right, looks like we don't have that live shot for you. We'll try and get that to you later in the show. Streetcars, once dominant in LA, could return to downtown as soon as 2020. LA City Council voted unanimously in support of the line yesterday.
It's really about kind of showing that commitment that downtown is here to stay, and that the community and the political leadership and everyone wants to see it last and wants to make investments that facilitate that growth. It's going to help a lot of people make their trips a little easier and give them an option that will suit certain needs really well.
The streetcar will travel in a one-way loop that begins at First and Broadway and proceeds all the way around downtown, with stops at the Convention Center, the Fashion District, and City Hall. Though some public planning experts think that the project is a waste of precious transportation funds.
I'm sure it's not worth the money. What we see happening is private interests promoting the streetcar and turning to the public sector to pay for it. So it's kind of an amusement park ride.
If the project receives the $200 million city officials requested, the streetcar could be up and running by 2020, serving up to 6,000 riders each day, and construction would begin in 2018. Sonika.
Well, tomorrow is World AIDS Day, and we're going to go... Oh, sorry, we still don't have that live shot for you. Ryan, it's been pretty chilly these last few days, but at least the sun was out today.
It's been super cold. I had to whip out my space heater in my room, and I, sit around it and sit under the sheets, and it's just a little too cold. But let's check in with James McDaniel to see if maybe it will heat up just a little bit, James.
Yeah, guys, it's going to be nice and clear over the next couple of days for sure. It's going to be really nice for finals coming up for all of us USC students. Let's go outside right now first. And as you can see, it's fair sunny skies, 58 degrees, and we are a little bit humid at 62%. Now, as we head towards our big map, let's go over to the Inland Empire first. We're going to see 62 degrees tomorrow in San Bernardino, 64 in Riverside, but Big Bear will only get up to 45 degrees. As we head over to the coast, we've got Malibu and Thousand Oaks will be 65 tomorrow. Northridge will be a tick higher at 66 degrees. Now, as we head towards downtown, we're going to see a range of the mid-60s all over the place. We're going to have 65 degrees here at USC, and we're going to get up to 68 degrees in Anaheim. Now, as we head to our 5-day forecast, we've got all sunshine for you guys for the next couple of days. We've got 65 both tomorrow and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we'll be seeing 70 degrees, and then we are going to cool back down a little bit as we head into Monday of next week, back down to 64. Now, on This Week with A Journey for James, our final segment of the semester, we visit some USC students working to perfect their singing and instrumental talents. Student musicians from the Thorne School showcased their talent at the Newman Recital Hall. The performance is the culmination of a vocal chamber music class, which requires an audition.
You learn some of the nuances about how certain instruments function in certain musical, textures. There's such a rich body of classical chamber music out there that we tend to pull from standard repertoire.
Students receive their songs at the beginning of the semester and work on them privately with Professor Lisa Sylvester and other students. The showcase is the first time students get to hear most of their classmates.
There's not many bodies, student bodies, where you have so many talented people that you can put on a program of this caliber with a large group of diverse instrumentalists and vocalists.
The course is offered in the fall and spring semesters to both undergraduate and graduate students. Guys, I used to play piano for a while, and my brother still plays piano today, and it's amazing just to see what people can do with just an instrument.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome. USC is the leader in research in the sciences and humanities, but also their musical programs are top-notch at the same time. They're one of the only universities in the world to do that.
Yeah, like Ryan said, USC is a really rich musical program. I've had the opportunity to be part of it my first few semesters here, so it's really nice to see that we're continuing that streak at the top.
Yeah, my roommate was also was a major out of Thorne as well, so that was pretty cool my freshman year.
All right, thank you so much, James. Now back to that story about AIDS. In honor of World AIDS Day tomorrow, people are gathering at the West Hollywood Library for the Paul Stark Warrior Awards. Tonight's ceremony will present awards to individuals who provide HIV or substance use services. Supporters walked to the library during a candlelit march to remember those who died from the disease. And that was a really great game last Saturday against Notre Dame. It's nice to see us finish our season strong.
Yeah, John, it was even better than the tailgate. Let's toss it now to check in what's happening in the big worldwide world of sports.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan and Sonica. The women of Troy are set to take on Hawaii in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And it's an exciting time for women's soccer as they get ready to face Georgetown in the Final Four. And does Dory Jackson have a case for the Heisman Trophy? He struck the pose, but will he get invited to New York? Sports are fun, and they're next.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to ATVN. While the regular season may be over for the Trojans, they are waiting patiently to find out what bowl game they will be in. And cornerback Dory Jackson is looking to snag a Heisman Trophy in the process. The junior cornerback / return man is going up against Michigan's 60-minute man Jabril Peppers, Louisville quarterback Lamar Jackson, and Clemson QB Deshaun Watson. Earlier today, USC Athletics made a compelling case for Jackson in this hype video.
Jackson picks it up. Jackson in space. Dory Jackson gone.
That is one of the premier cover guys in all of college football.
What speed, what talent. This time Jackson has a shot. Here comes Dory Jackson.
The stats are overwhelming. The Lot Impact finalist has totaled up some stellar stats this year with 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, 2 punt returns for a touchdown, 4 interceptions, and 2 fumble recoveries. He capped off the season with a 3-touchdown day, but it may not be enough for a Heisman Trophy.
Dory's push came a little later than would have been ideal if this game had happened as the Notre Dame games that take place during the middle of the season when they're in South Bend would have probably positioned him a little better. Jackson has definitely fumbled, but the problem is it doesn't look like there's anybody nearby who can recover the fumble, and Jackson's probably going to get it back himself.
Now, Fellenzer did not put Jackson in his top 3 votes and said Jackson would need a lot of help to get the invite to New York, so it may be a case of too little too late for Dory. But moving over to basketball, the Trojans are in San Diego tonight and will tip off at 7 p.m. But this Saturday, they will have the luxury of getting to play 20 blocks up north up the road at the Staples Center, where they will take on Brigham Young. The Trojans have had their best start to the season since 2000. Let's move over to the pitch. The women of Troy have had a tremendous postseason and have made it to the Final Four. They will get to play Georgetown in a semifinal match this weekend up in Santa Clara. Caleb Mills talked about what it will take to take home that College Cup.
I think we're excited as a team, and we're just ready. I mean, it won't be easy because, you know, if it was easy, then everyone would be able to do it. So, I mean, it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take us being a team and remembering that we got here because of, you know, each other.
Mills and the rest of the women of Troy came off a phenomenal win against Auburn over Thanksgiving break. Now they know that they will need to provide an aggressive offensive front in order to advance to that championship game. A win against Georgetown would land the women of Troy into the finals, where they would play the winner of North Carolina and West Virginia. The championship is set for Sunday. Now the men's water polo team has also made it to the NCAA semifinals after a bye, where they will face the winner of UC Davis and Harvard. In the pool, the 23-1 Trojans have won 15 straight, including an MPSF tournament title win last week. The Trojans are looking for their 10th NCAA championship trophy. And the women of Troy volleyball team has made it to the NCAA tournament as well, and are heading to Minnesota to take on Hawaii in a first-round matchup. Hawaii is favored against the women of Troy in the 32-team tournament. The winner will likely face the number 2 ranked Gophers in the Sweet 16 matchup later this weekend.
Honestly, we could win it all. There's no limitations, and I think this team's really special, and I think we can do a lot of great things.
I feel playing Hawaii on a neutral floor rather than having to go to Hawaii is a real advantage for us. So we're all excited and ready to get up there and do battle with the Wahine.
And a pair of upsets would send the women of Troy to the regional final, which is where the team ended their season last year. Now, going back to football, guys, Dory Jackson may not have a chance at the Heisman, but USC football as a whole could go to the Rose Bowl. They could go to the Cotton Bowl, which would be just as good. A New Year's Six Bowl would be an amazing, prestigious thing for the Trojans, which they haven't done since the Pete Carroll era. I really think USC football is back, and it's a great time.
So, John, what would have to happen for the Trojans to make it to the Rose Bowl?
Right. So right now, Washington and Colorado are going to be playing in the Pac-12 championship, and the winner will most likely go to the college football playoff. Washington is pretty much a lock if that's the case. If Washington wins, the Pac-12 gets to send a team to the Rose Bowl, not Washington. So the committee might choose USC over Colorado, since we did beat Colorado earlier in the season. USC might have that chance, and if it's in the Rose Bowl, it'll be on January 2nd, which is the observed game of the New Year's Six game. So playing on that Monday, would you guys be back in town for that?
I won't be, unfortunately, so I hope the Trojans do make it, but I won't be here to watch them. What about you, Ryan?
I'm out of the country, but I'll be fighting on all the way from Israel.
Israel, wow, that'll be fun.
It will. Thank you so much, John Marcus. Lots of factors in play, and let's hope for those Trojans.
Yeah, let's go, fight on.
These last 11 weeks have been a wild ride, Sonica.
That is right, Ryan, and we're going to check out some of our most memorable moments from this team throughout the semester.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple, just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Netflix users will now be able to watch some of their favorite shows anywhere at any time with a new download feature that allows viewers to watch select shows without having Wi-Fi. Netflix has added an offline feature that will enable users to download some shows and movies straight to their computers or mobile devices. The list of shows available for download includes some of Netflix's own titles, including their most popular hits like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. 2016 has been a long year for many of us, and it's starting to wind down, so we thought we'd finish off the year with a few laughs, Sonika.
Yeah, so here's a look at some of our most embarrassing bloopers.
Let's take a look at how they're doing so far. Donald Trump states are in the red, Hillary Clinton's are in the blue. Some of the states that both candidates have won so far.
Now we're just outside the study rooms here at the Mackey Center, where student athletes can come to work on their schoolwork with tutors.
A panel including USC professors and students will begin at 5:15 p.m.
And Trump is talking about the Second Amendment and supporting right to the Constitution. Kind of interesting. People are kind of whooping.
And guys, that is something you do not see every day.
Yeah, guys, you are exactly right. It definitely has been cooling down over the last couple of days, and outside we are seeing some sunny skies. There we go, there's our graphic.
Brad Stryker is live on the row where some of these calls came from. Brad?
Tremendous growth.
Absolutely. I know I even looked just about 15 minutes ago, and we were only at 25 million.
Oh, USC is gearing up for its big game against Stanford, but
Trojans tip off for the first time this season at 8 p.m. Friday at the Galen Center versus the Montana Grizzlies, led by returner Benny Boatwright.
And it is. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News.
We have plenty of time. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Ryan Thompson.
And I'm Sonika Bargo. You can catch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com.
Well, it's going to be a good game this weekend against Colorado, but you know what? Last weekend was crazy. I know the tailgate was a lot of fun. Ryan, I know you had a lot of fun jumping into that pool. You okay?
I'm doing fine, man. You know, when you smell like a beatbox, you smell like a beatbox.
Another good tailgate.
And we pretty soundly crushed the Sun Devils too, so.
Good times.
It's surely been a fun semester here at Annenberg TV
It
News,
has.
and it's been a great serving with you guys. Thank you for being one of the best news teams that I've worked with. You guys are all awesome.
Thank you, and thank you for always entertaining us, Ryan.
You know what? Whether I'm trying or not.
I don't think I can make it through every single week without you just bringing up something fun, or just you scrolling on your phone, you talking to me while I stutter and just trying to make fun of me. You know, that motivation really helps.
I'm a good time, John Marcus. I'm a good time. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Ryan Thompson.
And I'm Sonika Bargo. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.